guys, welcome back. I am Frida DeWright, CCD, and I wanted to welcome you into my farmhouse kitchen this afternoon because I am making something that tastes really good and will give you a lot of energy. And I guess you could technically call them fat bombs, but I think that's really gross sounding. So I like to call them Melties. And I didn't come up with this myself. If you've ever checked out the website Chocolate Covered Katie, it's amazing. If you haven't, I highly recommend going there. I got the original recipe for these from her off that website, and she called them Melties. And she has a zillion flavors. So I know there's a lot of ways of doing these. And I like to also say this isn't something that we regularly have in our house. Just every once in a while when I feel like we're going through, like a season, or we're going to have a busy week, or no, we don't hardly have busy weeks. We have active times. So I guess during our active times, then we can have these, especially, okay, let's be real. They're for me, because sometimes I get tired in the afternoons, and sometimes I want a little pick-me-up, all right? The kids don't need it. I gave them one once, and it was like they drank a pot of coffee. I mean, like, I really limited it, too. I was like, here, just have one of these. And they were, like, buzzing around, and I'm like, you guys are older. Like, you're not tiny kids. Like, what's going on? So they really do work. So they are not like a snack, like a regular eating snack. They're like a once in a while, have something that'll give you a bit of a pick-me-up that tastes good. And they're not really sweet either. So it's not like one of those things where you're just going to keep popping them because they're giving you that sugar fix. All right. So back to the Melty. So like a cooking show, I've displayed all my ingredients. And it's funny too because as I was getting all these things out, I was like, well, okay, first of all, I don't have a half cup measuring cup anymore. It got lost on the homestead. We found it right before we were moving and it was outside. And the Yeti goes, just cut it loose. Don't take it. It's not worth it. You don't know what's happened to it. And he was right. I have no idea why it was outside, what happened to it, but I'm sad. R.I.P. half cup measuring cup. All right. But then I realized that a lot of these things are measured out with half cup and I have to reuse. And funny enough, you'll see in just a second, I reused the 4th cup measuring cup and then with the cocoa and then the coconut oil in it afterwards. It does not look pretty now, but I'm not going to waste. So, all right. So the first thing first is I like to start with 2 mushed up bananas. Now, on Katie's recipe, on Chocolate Covered Katie, we're on a first name basis. She doesn't have banana at all. So I was like, oh, this could be nice. And so when the first time I made it, I used 1 banana because I was also thinking about stretching the recipe out a little bit more. And then now that I make a double batch, I went ahead and I used 2. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 bananas, ripened bananas, obviously. The riper they are, the sweeter they are. That's what I always say. All right. Okay, so let's just set this in the sink. Look at that. Handy dandy. All right. And then I use 1 full cup of peanut butter, but you can use any nut butter. So get that all in there. Okay. And then I also live on a farm, so if you see a fly or 2, one just landed on my face. So if you're watching that close, I just want to let you know we have fly strips and flies happen and we're very sanitary and this is not a commercial kitchen. This is my house. So, okay. So next up, we have the cocoa. So honestly, I know that you can get fancy cocoa. You can get all sorts of different types, but this is just Aldi's brands cocoa powder. And so this is a half cup. I'm just going to dump that guy in. And then the half cup of coconut oil. And I used unrefined virgin coconut oil, so you're getting all the health benefits. And again, these are full. The whole reason is that it gives you a boost in energy, so you need the fat in there. And fat has gotten such a bad rap. But if you're eating healthy fats, like, well, we eat vegan, so, plant-based healthy fats, I believe, are amazing. So here we go. Everybody has their own ideas of what's healthy for them. And I encourage you, if you feel like it's healthy for you, do it. Unapologetically do it. All right. And then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Optional. You don't have to put it in. then last but not least, a little bit of a sweetener. So again, Aldi's is my favorite store ever. So this is Aldi's brand maple syrup. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons. Now I wanted to give a little shout out here to the best sister ever who gave me and surprised me with these amazing wooden measuring spoons. And I love them so much. So I just want to, that's why it's not already pre-measured out because I'm giving her a little shout out. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay, now in true Stacey D fashion, I forgot to get the actual stirring spoon for this video. So we're going to attempt to do this with this rubber spatula. And if not, I'm going to have to get a, yeah, this isn't strong enough. It keeps bending. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to get some. Hold, please. Okay. Now most people would probably just edit that out, but I feel like there's just this realism to not having your crap together. Okay. Now you could also throw this into a blender if you wanted it to be a little smoother. We have a Ninja, and I feel like I use our Ninja so many times a day that I just get to this point where, although I appreciate it 100% because there's a lot of things I can't make without it, I just don't want to have to clean it again. And I'm like, well, if I can stir it, not only does it work on my biceps and forearm and tricep and maybe even back muscles where it extends in my back and maybe my fingers and then my supporting hand. It helps me to build muscle. You can't always rely on machinery. I mean, what if this was post-apocalyptic and I wanted to make some Melties and we didn't have electricity anymore? What would I do? I'd have to stir. I know what you guys are thinking. It'd be really hard to get the ingredients for Melties. It's post-apocalyptic. But in my head, I have access to chocolate no matter what. And coconuts, although I live in northern Michigan. And poly peanuts might be a problem as well. Really harshing myself out here. Okay. So this is also the first time in weeks that the house has been cool enough on its own that our coconut oil hasn't been liquidy. This is interesting. I'm having like chunks of coconut oil. Was not expecting that. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. I like a good low 70 kind of day. Sun shining, cool breeze, blue skies. This is ridiculous. Maybe a blender would have been nice. Maybe I should have just ninja'd this. Then I wouldn't have had to mush the bananas by hand. Okay. All right, that's just going to have to be good enough, and then nobody can be a whiner. They can say, Mom, I got a chunk of coconut. I would say, get your hands off my Melties. I'm just teasing. Sort of. Okay, so what I do now is because it's coconut oil and peanut butter, and there's nothing in here to harden the chocolate, I throw them into a cupcake or muffin tin like this, and then I just put it right into the freezer. And we typically don't have aluminum foil on hand, so I don't know, or plastic wrap. I could probably put a towel over them, but honestly, I just throw them in. And I only say this because I'm really big about covering food when you put it in the refrigerator. I feel like it comes out much nicer, but for some reason to me, like the freezer feels different. I don't know. All right. So I give each cup about a spoonful. Super. You know what I was going to do? I was going to put vanilla in these. I even told one of the kids, I said, I'm going to try vanilla this time. Didn't do it. Not even a little. Guys, so I'm going to take these, now they're all in, and I'm going to throw them into the freezer for, I don't know, a couple hours till they freeze. And then we will eat them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that if you're inspired, try this recipe. I'll leave it down below. Remember, I didn't come up with the original. I mean, I had the banana, but it doesn't feel altered enough to call it my own. You know what I mean? And if you want more of these ideas, or if anything, check out Chocolate Covered Katie for sure. I will leave a link to that as well. So awesome, guys. I will talk to you later.